the farm.
Hello and welcome to today's Catholic Focus News Bulletin. I am Susan Bulemi and our sign language interpreter is Jane Mbaya. From prayers for the sick in Nairobi and Kitale to efforts of protecting the youth from political exploitation in Embu, improved road connectivity in Taita Taveta, food security support in Navaholo, and a government crackdown on fake overseas job recruiters. We bring you the latest updates shaping communities across the country. Let us begin. The Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Nairobi, David Kamau, today urged caregivers of the sick everywhere to recognize that their responsibility is not just a job, but a special calling from God. Bishop Kamau made the remarks at Holy Family Basilica during a special Mass for the sick and their caregivers, which also included the blessing of medical equipment. The Mass brought together leaders and staff from various hospitals, caregivers of the sick within the Archdiocese of Nairobi, Catholic workers, and some patients who also received the sacrament of the anointing of the sick during the special celebration. Bishop Kamau also acknowledged the challenges faced by patients and their loved ones, but encouraged them to remain hopeful in God, the true helper of all, reminding them that Jesus is the source of unique and genuine healing.
Kanisa inajishughulisha na wagonjwa and with all those who are suffering with all sorts of illness and sickness for a number of reasons. Kwanza, katika Agano la Kale binadamu huumia mbele ya Mungu na anamlilia Mungu na anaomba Mungu amponye. La pili, Kristo mwenyewe alikuwa daktari mkuu katika International Hospital of Nazareth. Christ's compassion toward the sick and his many healings of every kind of infirmity are a sign that God has visited his people, as we have heard from the gospel. Yesu Kristo ana uwezo sio tu kuponya, lakini hata kusamehe. He has come to heal the whole person, body and soul. Yeye mwenyewe ameuchukua udhaifu wetu, ameyabeba magonjwa yetu. So by his passion and death on the cross, Christ has given a new meaning to suffering and sickness. It can henceforth configure us to him and unite us with his redemptive passion. Tukiangalia maumivu ya Kristo, basi yetu inakuwa na maana, kwa sababu maumivu ya Kristo, kusubua kwa Kristo, mwisho wake ni.
The Catholic Diocese of Kitale also commemorated the World Day of the Sick with a special Mass held at St. Charles Lwanga Catholic Church in Trans Nzoia County. The celebration brought together the clergy, healthcare workers, patients and faithful from across the region in prayer and reflection on the Church's mission of caring for the sick and the vulnerable. The Mass was presided over by Father Abraham Bergen, the health coordinator of the Catholic Diocese of Kitale, who underscored the importance of compassion, solidarity, and accessible healthcare services. Take a look.
Or may not heal them. Our understanding of healing is in restoring the usefulness, the state of functionality in our body, but there is healing beyond the healing in the hospital. The healing that Jesus taught us, the healing that does not take us away from suffering, the healing that gives us courage to walk into the cross and be sacrificed, and staying on the cross even when we have the power to pull out. The healing that comes beyond the death, that Jesus did not run away from death as a way of healing, but he combated death and eventually consumed. This is the healing that sometimes comes. And when somebody is sick, they do not become objects of big pity. They don't call for us to pity them, to sympathize with them. They call for us to journey with them. They call for us to have the supportive availability. Understanding of this comes from the fact that it is in none of our skills that healing comes. It is in God's own magic that He uses our hands to bring about healing. This is the reason why, as healthcare professionals who are here, taking care of the sick and by extension sometimes also being sick, it is incumbent on us that we should always deal with the sick knowing that they do not require pity from us. They do not require sympathy. They require more than that. This reminds me of what St. John Paul said. Along with our bringing compassion to the suffering, we too in the healthcare practice suffer pain, compassionate fatigue. Compassionate fatigue is real, because when you are in healthcare, you journey with the people you serve, and their pain drains you also emotionally. This is the most important thing to know as healthcare professionals. We are not objects, we are not machines, we are human beings. There is no way you will see somebody dying and performing the last office on them, and it doesn't hurt you. It drains you. And you will never run away from the fact that every care that you give also weighs you down. Every care that you give to the sick weighs you down. It sits squarely on your humanity. You can never pretend to be so inhumane that you see people dying because of a procedure or because of non-functionality of their bodies, not a mistake of your own, and then you say that you're okay. This is the reason why today, as we celebrate this Mass, we bring along the intention of praying for those who are in healthcare practice. We are human beings. Our hearts requires motivation. Our mind requires refreshment.
The Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Embu, Peter Kimani Ndongo, has called for stronger collaboration between the Church and the Embu County Government to safeguard young people from political exploitation ahead of the electioneering period. Speaking during a high-level meeting with Governor Cecily Mbarire and county officials, the Bishop emphasized the need for mentorship, moral guidance, and responsible leadership to protect the youth and promote peace.
Therefore, as the election period draws nearer, we are especially mindful of the need for peace and responsible engagement. We hope, together with your leadership, to see our youth guided towards constructive participation rather than being drawn into division, incitement, or violence. We would like them to be engaged in civic education and also voter registration. Peace and security remain essential if our county is to continue progressing in unity and stability. Be assured, Your Excellency, of our prayers as you have requested, because whenever there is no peace, we know even worshiping is also an issue. So be assured of our prayers and our readiness to continue working together in dialogue and in cooperation. We pray that God grants you wisdom, strength, and listening heart as you carry out your responsibilities in the county and even nationally as a party leader. Many look upon you, especially young girls. They look upon your leadership and they see you as their mother and as their mentor. We have seen challenges that are affecting the boy child. And indeed, one of the steps we have taken as a church is to declare 2026 the year of men. From boy who are a boy to the man who is at the deathbed. It is the year of men. We take care of them and focus on empowering men. We have seen the challenges of domestic violence and also the strain that is being felt by many families due to lack of economic support. Of course, the drought also is also an issue, but that's a climate issue that can be dealt with and can be coped with. We therefore share these not as criticisms, but as partners who work closely with the people, and we desire what is best for them. Your Excellency, we are aware that leadership carries many pressures and difficult decisions, both the church and also in politics. And as a church, we may not take political positions, but we do wish to encourage leadership that is marked by humility, integrity, and sincere concern for the common good, particularly for those who feel unheard or left out. And for sure, with the leadership so far, I would say you have marked this grade of humility, integrity, and sincerity, looking at what has happened and what is happening within the county.
And on matters concerning economic development, residents of Sagala Upper Division in Taita Taveta County are set to benefit from improved transport and connectivity following the official handover of maintenance works on the 7.9 kilometers Ngelenge-Kanyanga Road by the county government. The upgrade is expected to ease movement, enhance access to markets, schools, and health facilities, and boost economic activities in the area. Local leaders say the project marks a significant step in improving infrastructure and transforming livelihoods within the region. Here is Gabriel Mokoma with the full report.
The project is part of the county-wide rollout of road maintenance under the Road Maintenance Levy Fund, with Taita Taveta County receiving 78 million from the Kenya Roads Board. For years, the poor state of the road has hampered movement between lower and upper Sagala.
Changamoto imekuwa ni vile mtu alikuwa anataka Sagala, anachukua 25 minutes, anakuja tuseme anaenda Kajire. Itabidi achukue 40 minutes ama 50 minutes sababu lazima zunguke Gimba, apite Voi, apite Gutuni ndo aende Kajire. Lakini sasa hii barabara sababu gharama pia tunaona iko juu. Sababu mafuta yale kuzunguka all that 7 kilometers ni extra cost na extra management ya gari. So kwa hiyo sisi tunaona hii barabara ikiwa iko wazi is a shortcut to Sagala.
The road, designed as a shortcut to Voi, is expected to significantly reduce travel distance compared to the older Gimba-Sagala route, lower transport cost, improve market access for farmers, and boost local business.
Hii barabara ni ya muhimu sana, hata kutoka Voi kwenda Sagala na ile nyingine ya Voi kwenda Sagala. Hii ni fupi kwa mwendo, kwa hivyo utakuwa umeokoa muda na pia gharama. Tuseme gharama ni kitu ya muhimu sana. Sisi wa Afrika sana sana watu angalie gharama, lakini kija ukiangalia distance and time is very important.
The 3.5 million project includes mechanical excavation and road expansion, grading and graveling of the 8-kilometer stretch, and construction of concrete slabs to ensure year-round accessibility, especially during the rainy season.
Nafikiri sababu mostly ilikuwa imetengenezwa na mikono na mwanzo ilikuwa ni nguvu ya mwananchi. Watu wa nyumbani walikuwa wanapeana nguvu, wale wako kazini walikuwa wanapeana pesa. So kulikuwa na gharama zingine tu zengo za Quran. Maybe kuweka culverts ni gali. Sasa ikawa pia ile wakati barabara ilitengenezwa mara ya kwanza haikufuatiliwa vizuri sana. Maana ingekuwa imefuatiliwa, kuna mali kama kuna culvert, mvua ikinyesha barabara haiendi. Barabara inabaki, kwa hivyo usafiri bado ungekuwa bado unaendelea ukiwa sawa.
From Sagala, Taita Taveta County, my name is Gabriel Mwakoma.
Vulnerable families in Navaholo are receiving a timely boost in the fight against hunger. A local foundation has stepped in with support aimed at increasing food production and easing the burden of high farm input costs. Here is Asasha Elizabeth with a full report.
Dozens of households in Navaholo sub-county are now better placed to plant this season after receiving certified maize seeds from the Stanley Ochango Foundation. The initiative targets vulnerable families, with organizers saying the goal is simple: increase food production and cushion households against hunger.
Amesindua fuguvuku ambalo linaanza kuangamiza njaa hapa Navaholo kwetu. Ili fukufuku amelianzisha hapa katika ward hii yetu ya Bunyala West, na akona malengo, akona madhumuni ya kufikia wards zote 5 za constituency yetu ya Navaholo. Kwa hivyo leo tumeweza kukuja hapa na mahindi ambayo ni mbegu ya kuweza kusaidia wakulima 500 ambao wanafaidika na mradi huu.
Speaking during the distribution exercise, Emmanuel Wanjala underscored the importance of planting the seeds rather than selling them, urging beneficiaries to take full advantage of the support to strengthen food security in the area.
Watakapopata mbegu hii wasiuze, liwe liwalo wasiuze. Walime mashamba yao, watayarishe mashamba, alafu waweke mbegu chini kwa manufaa ya baadaye.
He noted that the soaring cost of farm inputs, particularly certified seeds, has made it difficult for many farmers to plant on time, especially amid the current tough economic climate.
Mbegu ndio changamoto kubwa. Kwa sababu gani? Ni kwa sababu bei ya bidhaa imepanda, na wakulima wetu hawapati mbegu. Kwa sababu gani? Bei iko juu. Kwa hivyo yeye kama mheshimiwa ameona kwamba kwa familia zote ambazo haziwezi fikia mbegu, yeye atoe mbegu mbali afikishie hawa wananchi.
However, the exercise also spotlighted concern over the poor state of roads in the region. Weak infrastructure continues to hamper the transportation of farm produce and limit access to markets.
Changamoto ni nini? Changamoto ni kwamba tumechelewa hapa, hata nyinyi mmeona. Kwa sababu gani? Kufikisha bidhaa zetu mahali ambapo inafaa tufike kwa wakati. Tumekuwa na changamoto, na hata hawa wakulima wana changamoto, maana mwanzo hawajui mbegu watatoa wapi. Jambo la pili, barabara wanapita namna gani. Hapa imebidi tubambane kabisa ili kwamba tufike huku mashinani, ili kwamba tufikie watu kwa wakati. Roads are not passable. Kwa hivyo changamoto ni mingi, bei ya bidhaa imepanda, tukitaka kuaccess vitu hatufikii.
Beneficiaries welcomed the support, terming it timely, as many had already prepared their land but lacked the resources to purchase seeds.
Chumi imekuwa ngumu sana, nililima shamba lakini sina fedha ya kununua mbegu, na ukitazama mbegu saa hii kupata ya kilogramu ya 2 kg inauzwa 1000, ambapo ni ya juu sana.
Wananchi wengi hawawezeshi kwa ajili ya umaskini. Unapata mtu ako na kashamba kadogo anatamani kubanda, lakini kwa ajili ya kutokuwa na uwezo wa kupata inakuwa shida sana, ambapo viongozi ambao wako hawajawahi fikiria na kumbuka kwamba mwananchi wa chini naye pia wanavaholo anatakana atambulike.
They are now calling on the government to ensure subsidized farm inputs reach farmers in remote areas to further strengthen food security efforts.
Serikali upande wa bei ya bidhaa, tunaomba kwamba wajue kwamba mwananchi wa chini vyenye mapato yetu ni chini, wakumbuke kwamba sisi pia yafaa watuangalie na washughulikie jambo la bidhaa, waweze kuangalia upande wa bei na watukumbuke saiti, tutashukuru.
Asasha Elizabeth reporting for the Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV.
Moving on, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions is investigating 15 recruitment agencies over alleged involvement in fraudulent scheme that lured Kenyans with fake job promises abroad. This comes as the government intensifies efforts to crack down on rogue agencies exploiting job seekers, with more than 600 firms already blacklisted. Our reporter Philomena Munyoki with the details.
Speaking in Machakos Town, Geoffrey Lesayo, the National Employment Authority officer for the Lower Eastern Region, revealed that 15 recruitment agencies are currently under investigation by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions over what he termed a suspicious overseas job recruitment deal. Lesayo disclosed that more than 600 recruitment agencies have already been blacklisted by the government of Kenya and are barred from conducting job placement services due to non-compliance and fraudulent activities.
And so far, as of January of 2026, there have been around 680 irregular, that's rogue or unscrupulous private recruitment agents that have been blacklisted or deregistered from the National Employment Authority. And those ones have been engaging in scamming Kenyans, issues of human trafficking, and those are the cases that now bring about the issues of exploitation, abuse, and torture of Kenyans. You know, when you are an undocumented worker outside the country, then it becomes a challenge even for maybe the consulate to follow up on you. So the government has been cracking down the whip, and so far up to 600. Initially there are around 1,200 agencies that have been registered, but right now 600 plus, around 680 have been registered. So with the National Employment Authority, we only have now active 600 private recruitment that are offering formal and regular labor migration.
He emphasized that the government is committed to protecting citizens from exploitation and preventing desperate job seekers from being lured into dangerous situations abroad.
So also there is an establishment of a one-stop center at the NSSF building, that's the Ministry of Labor headquarters, a one-stop center where victims of fraud, victims of scamming, and victims of irregular migration, whereby Kenyans have been conned in the name of securing for them foreign employment, can present themselves with evidence and reports about who spawned them and who swindled their money. So there, I think, as up to date, because it was established late last year, around July, the government has so far, there are about 15 active cases that have been forwarded to the DPP, but I think those are issues that can be addressed from our head office, because then I think those are active cases. But Kenyans need to know that there are channels to save them from any harm in terms of foreign employment.
Reporting for Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV, I am Philomena Munyoki.
And that story on exploitation of job seekers brings us to the end of today's Catholic Focus News Bulletin. Stay with us as we continue to bring you more updates on initiatives, developments, and actions aimed at improving lives and promoting peace across the nation. I am Susan Bulemi, and with me on the sign language interpretation desk was Jane Mbaya. Until next time, be blessed and remember to always keep it Capuchin TV.
Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel. You are watching Capuchin TV. For any complaints, comments, or compliments on our programming, you can either write to us on info@capuchintv.co.ke or you can call us directly on 0717 424 866. Your complaint shall be addressed within 7 days. Remember to keep a copy of your communication with us. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity.